Today I'm going to show you how to replace your air filter, both top and bottom. You do need two, not one. You do need two. This one is the one I just took out of mine. It is filthy. I don't know if you can see that in there. Ugh. So let's get started. For the purposes of removing your air filter, you'll need a trim removal tool, just like this, or something that's long and flat, sturdy, not sharp. And while some cars have pull tabs, if yours does not, you'll need a 6mm screw bit, which is also a T20. To start, feel free to put your chair back. This will make accessing this little area a lot easier. Then take out your floor pan or your floor mat and set that aside. This trim piece here is the one that we're working with. There are tons of little pins that we have to remove. Some people remove some of the trim underneath the glove box up here. That is not necessary, but it does make things a little easier. After your floor pan is removed or your floor mat is removed, you want to take a trim tool and start prying away all of these pins here. You'll hear them pop as you go along. And you can also take your hand here and gently pull on them. This top corner here is a little tight in this corner, so be careful there. There are sometimes a few pins in the very middle that are tough to get out. So in order to get those out, you want to apply as much flat pressure as possible along the area around that pin. So after it's removed, make sure that you have all those little white pin pieces on each one of those. I lost one on that larger piece there, and as you can see, it is right there. All that we're gonna be looking at here is this piece here, this vertical piece. And now there's only one screw right there. So before you go through and unscrew all of these ones, all you have to do is unscrew this one. And this should be pretty easy to just grab onto the bottom and remove like that. Under the panel, you'll find two air filters, one on top of the other. You have to grab the tab at the top of the top one and pry it out of there. This takes a bit, so take your time. And on the bottom one, lift it straight up and do the same thing. On a new filter, you'll see an arrow pointing towards the interior of the car, like towards the driver's seat. Here you'll want to squeeze the filter into the spot. Again, this takes a bit. Same goes for the top. Squeeze it in there, get that top in there also. As long as they're not squeezed in sideways or anything like that, you should be good to go. So once everything's back in place, you want to make sure those tabs, top and bottom, are both wedged in there. Take the top of this and kind of wedge it up in there. You might want to line it up first just to make sure you know where the screw hole is. And once that kind of sets into place, make sure you get the top part in there. It should hinge like a door. And if you're not getting it, make sure that your top tab is folded down and not blocking your tab from entering there. The whole trim piece should stay. Should stay just like that. Or take your 6mm screw, get that started by hand. All these components are plastic, so be careful here. Make sure that's nice and tight, but not too tight. And that's it. Get those all lined up as much as you can. And when you're placing this back in, I like to start with the big one way down there in the bottom. Make sure that is lined up correctly first. And that should give you a really good guiding place for the rest of the panel. And this top corner here is a little tough to get in there, so you might want to bend that gently in there first. And you'll see it's already lined up. And now you can start pressing in from bottom to top all of the pins. If for some reason you miss any, feel free just to pop it out again and press it back in. And then to finish, just place your floor pan or floor mat back in place. And that's it. Now we've replaced both of the air filters inside your Model Y.